What's up, O'Brien Army? So, we're back to that topic from the last video where the EMT was rude to me and I casually threw it back as I walked away. Now, that's pretty smart and sneaky because when emergency services are rude to you, they have legal protection. So most of the time, they won't be punished for being slightly rude. But here's how you get back at them. So if an EMS worker says something rude to you in the street and you just start going off on them, just calling them a bitch and flipping them off, saying F you, all that other stuff, and screaming at them off the top of your lungs, you're probably going to get arrested for being disorderly. So, and then you look crazy and they don't. So how you win this one is as soon as they start giving you a snarky attitude or something, don't yell your head off at them. Don't cuss them out. Don't flip them off. Instead, you just find one fact about them, particularly whether they have moles on their face or if they're just not the greatest looking people in the world, or if they missed a button on their shirt. You can throw that back at them casually as you walk away, like, oh, but at least I know how to button my shirt up, as you walk away, and just don't say anything else. Or, oh, at least I don't have a huge mole on my face. Something like that. Something sneaky and equally as snarky that won't get you in trouble. That's how you do it right there. So, most of the time, if you get in trouble for being disorderly towards emergency services, most of the time they're going to win that case in court because they have the most respect. And they work with the emergency services, so they have a lot of respect. And you don't work for the emergency services, so you're just a random person that showed up and started giving them problems in the judge's eyes. So that's why you have to be sneaky, but equally as snarky. You find one thing to troll them about really quickly, and one quick insult, so that make sure you don't put any cuss words in it or anything, because then not only do the police have nothing to charge you with, but you also kind of threw it back in their face that they were rude to you, and you threw it back in their face somehow. That's how you do it right there without getting in trouble. And most importantly, the tone of your voice and the way you say it. Like I said, if you're screaming at them and hollering at them, you're probably going to get arrested for being disorderly, and you're not going to win that case. It's basically a popularity contest. So if you ask an EMS worker what happened, like what happened with me, then they say something snarky like, why don't you go back to your own driveway? Just study them real quick, and then find something to troll them for. Like, I'm gonna use this incident as an example. So that EMT worker cocked an attitude at me. Why don't you go back to your driveway where you belong? So I said, well, that's an ugly attitude for a woman who's got equally as ugly looks. No. Your attitude's equally as ugly as your looks are, hun. And then I started walking away, and then she said, "Excuse me?" And I just ignored her and kept walking. That is how you do it right there. You calmly say that as you walk away. If you do it that way, there's nothing they can charge you with, because you weren't harassing them, you weren't yelling and cussing them out and being all sorts of disorderly. You just simply threw it back in their face and walked away. So there's really nothing anybody can charge you with, because you technically didn't break any laws. As long as it's not based off of hate speech, that is. Because that's how you do it right there. You throw it back in their face without getting yourself in trouble in the process. That's how you do it right there. So, if emergency personnel are being rude to you, be smart. Do what I did. Handle it the way I did. Don't go throwing a fit in the middle of the street and getting yourself in trouble over it. And why don't you go out to your driveway where you belong? Your attitude's just as ugly as your looks, hon. Other than just casually walk away, excuse me, and just ignore her and just keep walking. Don't even look back when she says excuse me. That's how you do it right there. That is how you do it without getting in trouble. Because literally, what can they charge you with? They literally have nothing to charge you with if you do it just like that. So that's how you win right there. Like and subscribe, leave a comment, click the bell notifications, and I'll see you in the next one.